Hey folks, really quick video for you here today. As you can see, I got in a new tool in the mail today, and this is the CRKT KERT, or KERT. And let's see where to start cutting this in from. This right here is the Spyderco UK PK. Just got this in a few days ago. It's a slip joint knife, so it does not lock, but it is awesome. Love it. Love the blade shape, love the size. Super light. I think it's under 2 ounces, might be a little bit over, I forget. Deep carry, wire clip, which I'm really starting to like these wire clips on Spyderco's knives. I've got one on my orange dodo. But anyway, just got this in and can't stop using it. It's really cool. It's actually kind of not my normal style. If you watch my videos, you know I like the larger tactical styled blade, something a little bit longer, and I definitely like fancy locks, but this is just so cool. Can't stop using it. So, as I mentioned a moment ago, this is the CRKT KERT. Now this is kind of cool. I bought this, it's actually based off of a design from a fella named Ray Kirk. And in fact there it says right there, this is the first time I've seen the packaging, so in case you're wondering. Ray Kirk design. And he has his own website called RakerKnives.com. That's RAKER knives.com, and I guess that's kind of like, you know, bumping his name together, Ray and Kirk, Raker. So he used to make a custom version of this, and it was made out of I think it was made out of some fancy steel. This one says high carbon stainless steel. I'll have to look into which exact version of steel it has, and I'll come back when I give you a full review on this. But if you've watched any of my videos recently, you know that I'm really into these pocket tools and, you know, little EDC tools. Anything keychain size or pocket size, I'm all over it. So these are actually a really great price. These are $9. You can order these directly from Ray Kirk from his website at rakerknives.com. This one actually came from multitool.org, and I know some of my viewers have a membership there. It's free to sign up, and it's a really cool online forum where people just talk about multi-tools, Swiss Army knives, you know, Leatherman tools, that kind of stuff. So I'm really into a lot of that. So I pop on there every once in a while, and I just saw that this got released, the KERT, and I thought, you know what, for $9 shipped, I'm gonna grab one. So I went on there, ordered one up, and it came in. It came in fast. This has actually been sitting around for 2 days, but I didn't have time to make a video, so I've been patiently waiting to open the packaging up so I could, you know, show it on camera. But it comes in this nice slim package. It does come with a key ring. It's quite a large key ring too. It's about 1 inch, maybe a little bit more than 1 inch. And it's got a little twist tie holding it onto the packaging. Let me see if, as usual, I'm going to struggle trying to open that through the viewfinder on my camera. And we'll take that off there. It's also got a little protective kind of sheath on the bottom, and we'll look at that a little bit closer in a second. I want to show you the back of the packaging real quick here. Right there it says a rugged stainless steel belt cutter, screwdriver, wrench, oxygen valve opener, bottle opener, and large key ring. You can see a few of the different uses being demonstrated there. And you know, it's so weird. You know how like now when you find any packages, it always says Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. It's just so funny to remember a time when, you know, there wasn't anything like that. I remember when there wasn't even a website shown. A lot of you younger guys out there probably don't remember that quite as well. So you get a nice big split ring, which I will not be using, but still pretty cool. And then here is the tool itself. Again, I don't know offhand, I probably should have looked it up beforehand, but I don't know offhand the type of steel used in here. And then it's got this little squishy vinyl rubbery kind of sheath or a little shroud that goes over this portion right here. And I believe the reason for that is that, as you can see, that little portion in the middle is edged. And I don't know yet quite how sharp it is. In fact, I could try and yank it across the packaging that came in, see if it does any damage. But that is your little, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but the KERT, I think it said on the packaging, maybe I said it, maybe I didn't, Keyring Emergency Rescue Tool. And CRKT loves their little abbreviations. They have the KISS, the PEC, a bunch of other ones that I forget at the moment, but they like those little acronyms. And so this is like a seatbelt cutter, and boy howdy, that is sharp. You can see it's just going right through that package. So I would imagine this would make short work of any paracord or straps that you need to cut. and just using that for an example. That's pretty cool. So it's got that little rescue cutter on there, which I can see immediately is extraordinarily sharp, so you probably would definitely like to keep this little shroud over the end of it so that you don't snag it. You obviously don't want to catch your finger in there, but you also don't want to, cut open your pockets or your pants or something. So that was one of the things, in fact, that was part of the reason I bought this, is I was very curious. It's got that little cutter on there. Now, I typically don't really care for, at least just based on looks and the concept alone, of pocket tools that have a sharpened edge. So you've probably seen many pocket-sized pry bars that have a knife edge on one end. That does not appeal to me because I don't like the idea that I have something on my keys that's extremely sharp. It's in my pocket, it's near my wallet. To me, it just doesn't sound like a good idea. I'm probably overreacting. It's probably fine, but that's just my preference. And the reason that I decided I'd give this one a shot is because rather than being exposed on the outer edge somewhere, this one's tucked away a little bit. So you're a little bit less likely, even if you didn't have that little piece covering the end, you're less likely to actually cut yourself. You can grab all of the exposed edges here with your fingers and nothing's going to cut you. It's just if you were to really dig the meat of your flesh into that little edge, or if you, again, were to catch it on your clothes, then you might have a problem. But to me, this is a lot safer than having an actual sharpened edge, somewhere on the exterior of the tool. And this one doesn't have it. Immediately, my first gut reaction is that it seems really well made. Obviously, there's not a lot to it. Here is your screwdriver as well as your prying edge. It doesn't have a lot of length to it, and I don't have the measurements right in front of me. Let me see if it's on the packaging. No, it doesn't say the length, but I mean, if I had to say, I'd say it's probably about 2 inches, maybe 2.5 inches long. So a little on the short side. You're not going to be doing some heavy prying with it, but it does come to a fairly thin tip on that driver, and I would imagine that that's going to allow you to do, a bit of small prying. Staples are going to come up, and that portion right there is narrow enough to where it should fit underneath stuff pretty easily. Maybe if you're popping open paint cans, or if you can't get underneath the little tab on a soda or something like that, that should get under there just fine. And it's thick. It's got, I'd say, I don't know, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, maybe closer, towards 1/8 of an inch, but it's got some decent thickness, so it's obviously going to stand up to some a little bit of abuse there. I wouldn't think it was just going to bend in half or break in half on you. It's got a hex wrench, something that I don't actually use very often at all. It's got our little key ring or lanyard hole there, oxygen wrench, which again is something I'm probably never ever going to use. And then this portion, I believe, is also to be used as the bottle cap opener. Let's take a little look at that picture again. And that's something that I'm really curious about, and that's another reason I wanted to try this tool. Is a lot of these little mini pocket tools, the little bottle opener portion, there's not really a lot to grab onto at that end, so you don't really have a ton of leverage. So I'm eager to try this on a bottle or two and see how well that performs, because that's something that you want to work at least moderately well. Obviously you're not going to be opening a million bottles with this, but the occasional bottle, you don't want to be struggling. And some of these types of tools, you do actually have to pry the bottle cap up in several different places in order to get that to work. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to carry this around for a while, probably a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, try it out on a few different projects, and then see how it performs, and then I'll come back and give you all a review. If you can't wait that long, I mean, for $9, for the price of lunch, you can get yourself a CRKT KERT, K-E-R-T, from Ray Kirk. And I think that this is a really cool way to support a guy who's just kind of coming up. I think this might be his first big collaboration with a big production house. And I decided, that for $9, that's a really cool way to kind of give something back to somebody that's out there trying out some new designs, within the EDC or knife and gear community. I think that that's a small way that we can show our support, that we like to see these kind of products coming out, and we'd like to see more. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm kind of voting with my dollars there, throwing a few bucks their way and his way, and letting him know, hey, keep up the good work. So you will definitely see a review of this soon, and I thank you for coming along for the ride. I'll come back at you with another video real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye. Real quick, I just wanted to mention, it also works really well with paracord. I just tried it a few times, and it pops through pretty easy. So that should work really well if you're cutting nylon straps. Anyway, there you go.